Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every person's life when the winds of adversity blow harder than we ever imagined they could. Circumstances twist and turn, and the world tries to shake our foundation. But let me tell you a truth that only the truly successful understand. The world does not shape you. Your reaction to it does. You must act as if nothing affects you, not because you are numb, but because you are focused. Not because you are unaware, but because you are locked in on a vision so vivid, so electrifying, that no external force can pull you from your path. The greatest minds, the richest souls, the strongest spirits, these are the people who mastered their reactions. When others panic, you must stand calm. When others curse the storm, you must set your sail. When others tremble before difficulty, you must smile with the quiet confidence of a person who knows that temporary setbacks are the tools of greatness in disguise. Think for just a moment about the men and women who built empires, who rose from the ashes of failure to the throne of success. Do you believe they were untouched by pain, by failure, by criticism, by ridicule? No, they were touched by it, bruised by it even. But they did not wear those bruises on their sleeves. They wore their determination instead. They wore their belief like armor. They wore their vision like a crown. And you must do the same. Act as if nothing affects you, because deep down, nothing truly does not unless you give it permission. The outside world is loud, yes. It's full of noise, distractions, doubts, and fears. But the voice within you, the voice of belief, of persistence, of burning desire, that voice must be louder. There is tremendous power in poise. There is magnetic strength in calmness. When you walk through life with the posture of unshakable belief, the universe moves for you. People respect you. Opportunities are drawn to you. The circumstances begin to mirror your inner strength. Every great achievement was born from the mind of someone who refused to be swayed by the immediate. They looked beyond what is to what could be, and while the world shouted impossible, they whispered back, just watch me. So do not flinch, do not shrink, do not bend under pressure. Instead rise, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and walk with the steady step of someone who already knows the outcome, because you do. Every human being walks through life encountering challenges, setbacks, disappointments, and distractions. It is a universal truth that no one is immune to adversity. Yet, among the many, only a rare few rise to extraordinary success, not because life was easier for them, but because they made a conscious decision to master their reactions. This one decision, this single discipline, becomes the foundation of strength, the root of calmness, and the birthplace of control over one's destiny. To master your reactions means to seize power over what you can control, your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors, regardless of what the world throws at you. The external world is chaotic. People will doubt you, situations will test you, and events will appear unfair. But none of these have the ability to define your outcome unless you grant them permission. This is not simply emotional suppression. It is emotional direction. It is learning to respond rather than react. Reaction is instinctual. It is the default setting of the masses. Response is intentional. It is the chosen path of the enlightened. Consider the man who loses his job unexpectedly. One person reacts with despair, panic, and self-doubt. They spiral into anxiety, convincing themselves that their options have vanished. Another person, perhaps facing the same scenario, responds differently. They pause, breathe, assess, and ask themselves what opportunity lies hidden in this change. They begin to build, to adapt, to move forward with purpose. Both experience the same external event, but only one remained in control. Only one mastered his reaction. In mastering your reactions, you become the captain of your ship. Imagine sailing across a stormy sea. If you panic every time the waves grow high, your voyage will be filled with fear and erratic movements. But if you understand that storms come and go, and that your sail responds to your hand, not the wind, you begin to navigate with calm precision. Life is that sea. Your mind is the ship. Your reactions are the hands on the wheel. There is a great strength in restraint, not weakness. The man who cannot control his anger is not powerful. He is enslaved by it. The person who lashes out in frustration every time plans change is not decisive. He is reactive and unstable. The world respects those who remain centered when the ground shakes, who do not let temporary emotions dictate long-term decisions. These are the people who rise, who earn trust, who are seen as leaders even in silence. Mastering your reactions also means understanding the source of your emotions. Ask yourself, when you feel offended, where is the wound? When you feel doubt, whose voice is echoing in your mind? When you feel fear, what past experience are you reliving? Emotions are clues, not commands. They are signals, not shackles. You must observe them, understand them, and then choose your path, not be dragged by them. And what is the key to this mastery? It is awareness. Awareness is the light that reveals your triggers, your patterns, and your impulses. The more aware you become of your inner world, the less the outer world controls you. Most people operate on autopilot, repeating the same reactions to the same problems, expecting different results. The master of reaction operates from a higher level of consciousness. They ask themselves before speaking, is this useful? They question their own thoughts before believing them. They pause where others explode. Great leaders, thinkers, and builders of empires have all possessed this quality. Think of a general standing calm on the battlefield, watching chaos unfold, yet issuing commands with clarity. Think of the entrepreneur facing failure, smiling with a spark in his eye, because he sees the lesson and the new door opening behind it. This is not detachment from life. It is deep engagement with it, from a position of strength, not victimhood. Reaction mastery is also about timing. Not every thought deserves immediate expression. Not every impulse requires action. The space between stimulus and response is where your power lies. In that space, you can choose your identity, your tone, your focus. You are not a puppet pulled by the strings of events. You are the master who decides what each moment means. Let others crumble under criticism. Let others retreat under pressure. You must hold steady, not because you feel nothing, but because you feel purpose more deeply than you feel pain. When your goal burns brightly enough, the noise around you becomes just that, noise. Your reaction becomes your statement to the universe. You are telling it, no matter what happens, I decide who I am. Even in daily life, this principle applies. Traffic, rude words, unexpected delays. Each moment is a test. Will you allow a fleeting inconvenience to ruin your mood, shift your focus, or cloud your judgment? Or will you smile knowingly, like someone who sees the bigger picture? That smile, that internal nod to yourself, is not weakness. It is power disguised as peace. You become a magnet for solutions when you respond with calm. You become a beacon of influence when others see you refuse to be rattled. In business, people follow the one who remains composed. In relationships, people respect the one who brings peace, not chaos. In life, people trust the one who reacts with purpose, not impulse. This is not to say that you should suppress all emotion. No, feel deeply, but channel that energy into action, not reaction. Let frustration drive innovation. Let disappointment fuel discipline. Let fear be transformed into focused movement. That is true alchemy, the ability to transmute emotional energy into forward momentum. Every time you master your reaction, you are sharpening your character. You are telling yourself, I am not the world's puppet, I am its architect. And slowly, over time, this discipline compounds. You become the one people turn to when things go wrong. You become the steady hand, the clear mind, the resilient heart. And from that place, anything becomes possible. There is a force in this world more powerful than money, more enduring than talent, and more influential than connections. It is belief, pure, unwavering belief in oneself and in one's vision. When a person carries within them a burning certainty, a focused intent, and a vivid picture of where they are going, they begin to influence the world around them in ways that defy logic. This is not fantasy or wishful thinking. It is a psychological and spiritual truth. The mind, when focused with intensity and faith, becomes a magnet for opportunity, a compass that guides action, and a shield against discouragement. Carrying unshakable belief and focused vision is the foundation of all greatness. Look at any towering figure in history, an innovator, a revolutionary, a creator, a builder, and you will find this trait in them. Before the world believed in them, they believed in themselves. Before their dream became visible to others, it was already vivid in their mind's eye. That clarity, that focus, that deep-rooted inner conviction, that is what sustained them when progress was slow, when critics grew loud, when doubt hovered like a storm cloud above their heads. The outside world was chaotic, but inside there was silence, there was certainty, and that certainty guided every step. Unshakable belief is not arrogance. It is not the denial of failure or the illusion that things will be easy. It is the choice to hold firm to an inner truth, even when the outer world offers none. It is the understanding that your current circumstances do not define your future outcomes unless you allow them to. It is the quiet but firm declaration to life itself. I am committed. I will not waver. I will become what I have decided to become. Focused vision is equally powerful. While belief is the fuel, vision is the destination. Without vision, belief becomes scattered and wasted. But when a person has a clearly defined vision, a mental image so specific, so detailed, and so emotionally charged, it acts like a lighthouse. It pulls them forward. It helps them filter out distractions, say no to temptations, and walk the narrow path that leads to achievement. Vision makes effort meaningful. It transforms hard work into purpose. It gives each day a target and every action a reason. Together, belief and vision become unstoppable. When you believe in something with your whole being and when you see it clearly in your mind, you start to live as if it already exists. You begin to speak with confidence, to act with authority, to think with clarity. Your behavior aligns with your goal, and because your behavior aligns, your results begin to align too. This is not magic. It is cause and effect. It is the power of the mind directing the body, of the spirit directing the journey. Carrying this inner certainty makes you immune to many of life's poisons. When others doubt you, it does not shake you, because you've already made your decision. When failures occur, and they will, you are not broken by them. You see them as feedback, as lessons, as steps on the staircase to your vision. You don't need constant approval because your approval already lives inside of you. You don't need constant reassurance because you've made a pact with your own soul. You've looked in the mirror and said, "This is who I am, this is what I'm becoming, and I will not turn back." This level of belief builds momentum. Momentum is one of the most precious forces in the pursuit of success. It's what keeps you moving on days when motivation fails. It's what carries you through seasons of struggle. It's what makes others take notice. People are drawn to those who carry themselves with clarity and confidence. They may not understand your vision, but they feel your conviction, and conviction is contagious. It inspires, it influences, and it creates allies in places you never expected. Focused vision helps you make decisions quickly. You do not waver because you know where you're going. When distractions come, and they will, you ask one question: does this move me closer to my vision? If the answer is no, you let it go. When opportunities arise, you ask, is this aligned with who I am becoming? If the answer is yes, you pursue it with full energy. You begin to live intentionally, and that intention rewires your life from the inside out. Now, understand this. Belief and vision are not static. They must be nurtured. Just like a fire, they require fuel. You must feed your belief daily with affirmations, with reminders, with stories of those who came before you and made the impossible possible. You must visualize your future often, in vivid detail, until it feels more real than your current reality. You must speak your vision aloud, write it down, breathe life into it. And when doubt creeps in, as it inevitably will, you must confront it, question it, and then return to your belief stronger than before. Many people never reach their potential, not because they lack talent, but because they never truly believed. They let the voices of others drown out their own. They let temporary defeats become permanent excuses. They let uncertainty paralyze them. But those who believe, deeply, persistently, irrationally if needed, those are the ones who rise. Not because the path was smooth, but because they never let go of the map in their mind. A person with unshakable belief walks differently. They speak with a different tone. They enter a room with presence. Their energy says, I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I don't need to convince you. I'm already convinced. And because of this, people begin to believe in them too. Doors open, help appears, resources arrive. Not because the world suddenly becomes easier, but because the world responds to certainty. It always has. Focused vision creates resilience. When the outcome is crystal clear in your mind, you can endure almost anything to reach it. The road might be longer than expected. The failures might sting more than anticipated, but the vision remains. It is your lighthouse in the fog, your fire in the cold, your compass in confusion, and with each step, the vision grows more real. You begin to see glimpses of it manifesting. The belief deepens, the energy intensifies, and eventually, what once lived only in your mind begins to live in the world. So you must walk through life as one already in possession of what you desire. Speak the language of success before it arrives. Dress, think, and act as the person who already has it. This is not pretense. It is preparation. It is alignment. The universe does not respond to doubt. It responds to decision. And belief is a decision. Vision is a declaration. Together, they move mountains. There is a silent, commanding strength in those who carry themselves with calmness. It is not loud. It does not demand attention, and yet it draws people in. This kind of inner strength is not forged in ease or born of privilege. It is cultivated in moments of pressure, refined through discipline, and anchored in self-mastery. To embody calmness and inner strength is not to pretend that life does not challenge you. It is to train yourself to meet challenge with composure, clarity, and confidence. It is the art of remaining centered while the world around you spins with uncertainty. Calmness is often misunderstood. Many associate it with passivity, with weakness, or with indifference. But true calmness is a conscious state. It is the decision to remain unmoved by chaos. It is the result of emotional discipline, of knowing your values, and of anchoring yourself in something deeper than the surface-level events of life. A calm mind is a powerful mind. It is a mind that sees clearly, acts wisely, and speaks deliberately. It does not rush to judgment or leap to reaction. It evaluates, considers, and then responds with intention. Inner strength is the foundation upon which this calmness rests. Strength of character, strength of belief, strength of will, the kind of strength that does not need validation to feel worthy, the kind that does not crumble under pressure because it has been built through challenge after challenge. It is not about the size of your muscles, but the resilience of your mindset. It is the quiet conviction that says, I've faced storms before, and I am still standing. When you embody calmness and inner strength, you become immovable in a world of uncertainty. While others complain, you create. While others panic, you plan. While others doubt, you do. This is the posture of a leader, the presence of someone who carries inner authority, not because they demand control over others, but because they have already mastered themselves. This kind of presence commands respect without a word. It communicates, I have seen adversity, and I did not bow. I have tasted failure, and I did not break. I have met fear, and I kept walking. There is power in stillness. Not the stillness of inaction, but the stillness of resolve. When you are internally still, the world cannot pull you into its drama. You become a mirror, not a sponge. You reflect energy rather than absorb it. You choose what enters your mind, what stirs your emotions, and what moves your hands, and in that choice you find freedom. Most people are slaves to circumstance. They rise and fall according to external events. But when you live from a place of calm strength, your peace is no longer up for negotiation. Calmness enhances your ability to solve problems. A reactive mind cannot think clearly. It makes decisions based on fear, on pressure, on ego. But a calm mind can assess with precision. It can consider options, measure consequences, and act in alignment with the bigger picture. Calmness is not just a personal asset, it's a practical tool. It gives you the edge in negotiations, the patience in relationships, and the clarity in crises. It allows you to move with strategy instead of impulse. This kind of inner strength is cultivated, not inherited. It is built one decision at a time. Each time you choose not to overreact, not to argue out of ego, not to allow someone else's chaos to become your own, you are strengthening your core. You are building emotional muscle. And just like in physical training, consistency matters more than intensity. Every small act of self-restraint, every quiet moment of reflection, every time you step back instead of lashing out, you are reinforcing your foundation. The world respects those who remain grounded. It trusts those who bring calm to tension. People are drawn to the steady, not the scattered. They look to those who can stay poised in pressure, not those who fall apart. When you become this person, you become valuable, not just in business or leadership, but in every room you walk into. You become a source of stability, and in a world that is often turbulent, stability is rare and powerful. You must train your nervous system to be your ally. This begins with awareness. When you feel your heart race, your breath shorten, your thoughts spiral, pause. Breathe, observe. This is not weakness. This is control. This is presence. Presence is power. Most people live in reaction to the past or anticipation of the future. But those who are calm and strong live in the now. They engage fully with what is in front of them. They do not dwell on what they cannot control. They focus on what they can shape. This moment, this response, this choice. In relationships, calmness and inner strength transform the dynamic. Arguments lose their fire when one person refuses to pour gasoline. Conflicts become opportunities for understanding when one person holds space for peace. Your strength becomes a gift to others. Your calm becomes a refuge. And in that space, deeper connection is born. People feel safe around you, not because you are soft, but because you are stable. Because you do not need to overpower, to prove, or to dominate. You know who you are, and that is enough. In the pursuit of success, calmness allows for endurance. Anyone can work hard when things are going well, but when plans fail, when timelines stretch, when resources run low, it is the calm and the strong who keep moving. They do not waste energy in frustration. They do not lose sight of the mission. They stay focused, adapt, and persist. This is not coldness. It is commitment. It is the fire of purpose contained in a vessel of discipline. Inner strength also means setting boundaries without anger, saying no without guilt, and walking away without explanation. Because you trust yourself. You know what aligns with your vision and what doesn't. And you are not afraid to disappoint others in order to stay true to yourself. This level of self-trust eliminates much of the noise in life. It silences the need to seek approval or validation. It frees you to act, to create, to lead without hesitation. When you embody calmness and strength, you influence others without effort. Your energy speaks before your words. You walk into a room and shift the atmosphere, not by force, but by presence. People feel your energy and adjust to it. Your centeredness invites others to return to theirs. Your peace makes others question their own inner chaos. And in that way, you lead by example, not by instruction, but by embodiment. Every day gives you the opportunity to practice this, to observe your triggers, to slow your breath, to steady your mind, to replace reaction with response, to choose alignment over ego, to remain calm when others lose control. And every time you choose that path, you build something unshakable inside of you, something that cannot be taken by failure, broken by rejection, or shaken by doubt. This is not about perfection. You will have moments of weakness. You will slip, react, feel overwhelmed. But those moments are part of the training. They are not defeats, they are lessons. Learn from them, reset, recenter, return to strength, because over time, the moments of calm grow longer, the reactions grow shorter, the strength becomes natural. And one day, without even realizing it, you become the kind of person you once admired. Not because of what you've achieved, but because of how you've carried yourself through it all. In the journey toward personal greatness, few qualities are more essential than the ability to act as if nothing affects you. This is not about being blind to reality or emotionless in the face of adversity. It is about cultivating an inner world so fortified, so centered, that the storms outside cannot touch the calm within. When you train your mind and spirit to remain grounded regardless of circumstance, you unlock a version of yourself that is no longer subject to the emotional weather of the day. You become a force rather than a follower of forces. Life ceases to push you around and instead begins to respond to your deliberate actions and consistent mindset. Mastering your reactions is the first threshold. It is the point where you realize that no matter what happens around you, your internal state is your responsibility. People may disappoint you, challenges may surprise you, outcomes may shift, but your power lies in how you respond. That split second between what happens and how you choose to meet it holds the key to your freedom. When you choose calm instead of chaos, reflection over reaction, and vision over volatility, you affirm that you are not a puppet of your circumstances. You become the master of your own emotional terrain, and with that mastery, you earn the respect of others and the trust of yourself. Carrying unshakable belief and focused vision gives your journey structure and fuel. It sharpens your direction and sustains your courage. Life will test you, this is certain, but belief allows you to move through those tests with confidence. Focused vision acts as your compass, guiding you when motivation fades and doubt whispers. Together, belief and vision form the mental blueprint of the life you are building. When you live in alignment with this blueprint, when your actions reflect your belief and your habits serve your vision, you begin to attract the very opportunities, people, and resources that you once thought were out of reach. You operate from a higher plane, not waiting for the world to believe in you, but showing the world what belief looks like in action. And then there is the embodiment of calmness and inner strength, perhaps the most magnetic quality of all. In a world full of noise, your calm becomes a signal. In a room full of scattered thoughts and erratic emotions, your inner strength becomes gravity. You become the anchor others seek, the example they admire, and the energy they remember. This level of strength is not loud. It does not need to be. It speaks through presence, through consistency, through your refusal to be shaken by the minor troubles that disturb the minds of the undisciplined. Your calm says, I am focused, I am grounded, I am prepared. Each of these qualities feeds the other. Mastering your reactions strengthens your belief. Belief sharpens your vision. Vision fuels your calm. And calmness confirms your mastery. When you act as if nothing affects you, not with arrogance, but with discipline, you begin to move with a different kind of certainty. You are no longer waiting for the world to give you permission to rise. You have already decided.